There's a moment that happens to almost every man once he crosses into his 40s or 50s. He's standing in front of the mirror, maybe getting ready for work, maybe just passing by on his way to bed, and he stops. He looks a little longer than usual. He notices the lines near his eyes, the gray creeping into his hair, the face that doesn't quite match the one he remembers from 20 years ago. And a quiet question shows up, one he'd never say out loud to his friends, not over beers, not over a game on TV. He asks himself, am I still someone a woman would want? He wonders if he's already become invisible without anyone telling him. And here's the truth. That question lives in the mind of far more men than you'd ever guess. We're bombarded every day with images that scream, youth is the only currency worth having. Fast cars, tight bodies, 25-year-old faces smiling in every ad. So it's no surprise that men who've actually lived, who've built something, who've earned every gray hair, start to believe they've got nothing left to offer. They shrink. They underestimate a kind of power they don't even realize they're carrying. But listen closely, because this is the part nobody says out loud. Attraction doesn't disappear with age, it transforms. A man often becomes more magnetic as he grows older, not despite his experience, but because of it. The way he carries his shoulders, the way his voice settles instead of rushes, the way he moves through a room like he's got nowhere he needs to prove himself. That's a different kind of pull entirely, and it's one most men never learn to see in themselves. Before we go further, I want you sitting with us properly. Join the 100,000 of us who show up here every week to talk about this stuff honestly. Hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, because what I'm about to walk you through might genuinely change the way you look at yourself the next time you catch your reflection. Here's something most men completely miss. Women don't experience attraction the same way at every stage of their lives. When a woman is young, she might chase excitement, looks, drama, the roller coaster of it all. But as she grows, as she's lived through enough relationships to know what actually matters, her radar shifts entirely. She starts searching for a different kind of energy. She wants to feel safe. She wants calm. She wants a man who understands feelings instead of running from them. She pays attention to how her body feels standing next to his. And that single shift changes everything about who she's drawn to. Today, I want to walk you through 5 signs, 5 things that are probably happening around you right now, that tell you a woman still finds you deeply attractive, even if you haven't clocked it yet. The first sign shows up almost instantly before any flirting even begins. She feels comfortable around you, genuinely at ease, without trying. That's one of the most honest signals a person can give. Comfort always arrives before attraction gets loud. Most men assume a woman's interest has to look dramatic, has to be obvious. But real interest usually looks like softness, an open posture, a longer glance, a reason to linger near you that didn't really need to exist. Maybe the cashier talks to you a little more than she talks to the next customer. Maybe a coworker laughs a little easier when you walk into the room. Maybe a conversation runs 5 extra minutes past when it should have ended, for no clear reason at all. Alone, these moments look like nothing. Together, they tell a quiet story. And here's why it happens. Steady, grounded energy feels like shelter to a lot of women. As men age and stop performing for approval, their voice slows down, their presence settles. They stop needing to prove anything to anyone in the room. Women feel that shift immediately. It reads as safety in a world that constantly feels unpredictable. When a woman feels safe around a man, she opens up naturally. She laughs easier. She shares more of herself. She holds eye contact a beat longer because her body isn't bracing for anything. That's attraction quietly building itself, brick by brick, without either of you forcing a single thing. And there's another thing older men tend to do far better than they give themselves credit for. They actually listen. Younger men spend most of their energy trying to prove how impressive they are. A man who's lived enough life has learned that real listening, patient and undistracted, means far more. Women feel it when someone actually hears them. It isn't about your age on paper. It's the calm you bring into a room. That calm outweighs almost everything else. The second sign is simpler than you'd think. People start commenting on how you carry yourself. Your voice, the way you dress, your beard, your posture, the way you stay composed in public. Most men never realize how much this actually matters. As you age, the way you present yourself becomes a real signal of who you are underneath. Women read self-care as a message. If a man takes care of his body and his appearance, it tells her he's disciplined, grounded, comfortable in his own skin. A man who respects himself signals a man who respects his life. That's naturally magnetic. And the truth is, the most attractive older men aren't chasing the appearance of 25. Many women are genuinely drawn to men who look proud of the age they've actually reached. The gray, the lived-in face, the quiet confidence that comes from experience instead of insecurity. Consistency matters here too. When a woman notices you're steady, same energy, same presence, put together every time she sees you, it tells her you're reliable everywhere else in your life too. As we age, attraction becomes less about the surface and more about substance. A younger man might get attention because he's exciting. A mature man earns attention because he's dependable, because he knows exactly who he is. That kind of grounded presence is rare now, in a world constantly rushing for the next distraction. So when someone compliments your style, your voice, your energy, that's not a small thing. Women don't hand out those comments unless they've already been quietly paying attention. The third sign is being watched, really watched, without an obvious reason. Interest often reveals itself through quiet observation before it ever becomes words. You might notice her eyes lingering a second too long, or catching you specifically when you speak in a group, or noticing small details about you that everyone else overlooks. Maybe she glances over and looks away the second you catch her. None of these moments feel huge on their own, but together they say plenty. Mature men attract a deeper kind of curiosity than younger men do. Women start wondering about the story behind the calm, behind the eyes, behind the steadiness. That curiosity exists because women are instinctively checking for safety before they let themselves get close. A grounded, self-assured man reads as trustworthy. And here's a mistake a lot of men make: assuming silence means disinterest. Often, real interest is the quietest thing in the room. The fourth sign is memory. She remembers the small things. Your coffee order, a childhood story you mentioned once, a random opinion you shared weeks ago. These details feel small on the surface, but attention like that means your words stayed with her. Mature men often earn this kind of attention because conversations with them feel real, unforced, free of games. That's why women hold on to what you say, and why, once she starts valuing those conversations, her feelings quietly deepen. And the fifth sign: she finds reasons to stay near you. A conversation lasts far longer than it should. She lingers after a meeting for no clear reason. She asks for help she probably doesn't need. We always make space for the people who make us feel good, and a woman feels genuinely good next to a man who is steady, self-assured, and at peace with exactly who he is. If you made it this far, drop a comment and let me know you stayed till the end. And if this landed with you, join the 100,000 of us building this community together. Hit subscribe and turn those notifications on, because next week we're going even deeper into the quiet signals most people never learn to read until it's already too late.